your Mortal Instruments series and your Clockwork Angel series?
There are 3 books in Clockwork Angel. There's Clockwork Angel's out already, Clockwork Prince, which I have the first chapter of here. Comes out next, and then Clockwork Princess. Mortal Instruments has also 2 more books in it. It has City of Lost Souls, which comes out next year, and City of Heavenly Fire, which comes out the year after that, and then I'll be done with the book.
Do you think that they believe you that there's really 3 books?
No one believes me that there's only 3 books in the Infernal Devices series. It's the price I pay for saying that Mortal Instruments was a trilogy, and then it turned out not to be. But I don't know. I think we get to the end of Clockwork Princess. I don't think there's a way to make another trilogy, but we'll see.
I have a question for Cassandra. For your dialogue between the characters, how do you make it so witty? I'm laughing like every time I hear Jace talk or Simon. It's just like I don't even talk that way normally. I don't know.
They're wittier than most real people, right, because they get a lot, they get all of my time and energy, put into their dialogue and polishing it and making it funny. Most of us only have, 5 seconds to come up with something funny to say. I have a lot of really funny friends. I take note of the things that they say, and the conversations that we have, or funny conversations that I overhear, I try to riff on them a little bit, that kind of thing. Mostly, I think it's an ear for overhearing funny dialogue and what makes it funny, and kind of trying to replicate those rhythms, because comedy is mostly timing and word choice. And I try to make them all sound different. Like, Simon's witty is not the same as Jason's witty, which is much more sarcastic. Clary has her own, funny lines. Everybody's got their own special, specific. Magnus has his own crazy way of being funny. Everybody has their own special, specific, kind of character-specific kind of humor, which is my favorite kind of. My favorite kind of humor is that ensemble humor that works together.
I have a question. I'm a graphic designer, and I've been really interested in what your concept is of what marks look like, because I feel like on the covers we get what the cover designer thinks they look like, and when the films come out we're going to see what the director thinks they look like, but what do they look like in your mind?
Well, they were originally inspired by. I don't know if I don't cough. They were originally inspired by a friend of mine who is a tattoo artist, and she showed me her flash designs for these runes that she had, kind of runic type tattoos that she had developed, and she actually she developed a whole line of runes for me. You can find them on my website. You can find them on her DeviantArt account. So she's done about 60 to 90 different runes of different patterns. So, the common ones, heal, fearless, and whatnot. And then she's also done a whole bunch of other ones that we haven't seen. So, as far as I know, in the graphic novel, definitely. As far as I know, in the movie, they're going to use those designs that are copyrighted to me. So you will see what the runes in my head look like. So. And you can all just go on my website and look in my facts section. There's a big, sort of chunk of the runes and the different designs. You can look at them.
How much with the movie? How much are you involved in it? Are they taking a lot of what you're saying, or are they just going from your book? Are you going to be you're on the set, doing our production of it, or
Well, I won't be on the set. I mean, they might let me visit the set, but they don't generally, have the writer lurking around the set. They've been actually involved in me more than I thought they were initially going to. I sort of grew up around Hollywood and I worked for the Hollywood Reporter for many years, and I sort of knew that, when you have a book to movie adaptation, the person who wrote the book that the movie is based on is not considered to be a very important individual. As I think someone once said, to Holly, books are just blueprints for movies. So, I was like, okay, they're not gonna consult me at all. I have to sort of just accept that and try to sell it to people who I think are gonna do a good job, because that's the only input I get is who I sell it to. So I sold it to Unique Features, who are the guys who did Lord of the Rings. Then they turned around and sold it to Sony. I was like, well, okay. Which is part of their their job. They sell it to the people who they think are going to get the movie done. They got a screenwriter attached, and I had been hoping for a female screenwriter, and they did get one. She did a draft of the screenplay, which I liked, and they've actually consulted me pretty steadily throughout, like on and off throughout the filmmaking process. I've talked to the director for a great length about, the characters, their motivations. He wanted to talk about things that they liked, their music, the reasons they do the things they do. He clearly, was very familiar with the books and clearly, had a lot of thoughts about what the world looked like and what the characters were like. So that was good. And the producer, who's in charge of casting, does send me pictures of people that he's looking at for, well, at the moment, Jace. It's been Jace for like 5 months. Jace is very hard to cast. So I'm just like every 5 days or so, I get a hot blonde guy in my inbox. New hot blonde guy. What do we know about this guy? Can he act? So I started calling it the Pretty Boy Parade, and his assistant wrote me actually an email. Like I replied to him, and I was like, "Okay, entry like 30 in the Pretty Boy Parade. Here are my questions." And his assistant wrote me back and was like, "Pretty Boy Parade." I was like, wow. So the fact that he's sending me photographs and background material on these actors at all is great. I've replied to him and we've had conversations about it or talked about certain actors and then he'll be like, this guy, met him, totally great, not right for Jace, could be right for Alec. Like he's very has a very clear picture in his head of what the different characters look like and who they should be. So I think that's good because I think the cohesive vision is really the thing that pulls you through the movie making process. That was a very long answer to your question.